Hello guys and welcome back. What we have here is an S8 Samsung which had the battery replaced by at the shop, and they forgot to stock the battery to the frame with something, and it ended up ripping off the flex from the battery. Now the client didn't want to replace the battery, and we suggested that we can repair the flex for a lower cost of a new battery. So we start by scraping off the black paint, and to get to the copper to be able to solder both sides together. Now here we start the soldering process, and on this bigger pad we just make a big blob of solder so that the flex stays in one place and doesn't move around, and we can solder the smaller ones together then afterwards. You have to bear in mind to use as much flux as possible in order for you to have good solder joints and not dirty solder joints, because for example on this ID and temperature sensor traces, if there's not a good connection and the flex might move, the phone might reboot and do all sorts of weird stuff. On the bigger pad we only use the solder, but here on the smaller one you can't really use only solder because it might break off. So we actually use wire to fill the gap that's made by the break in the flex. It's a bit of a thicker wire, but it will do the job for now. We didn't had anything else at hand at that point. Now bear in mind that you have different traces on both sides. There's not only traces on one side, so here we start scraping the other side of the flex. But be careful not to scrape too hard to make shorts with the other side. So they are two different sides, they don't connect to one another. So you have to be careful not to scrape too hard so that they make contact with each other. Now here we start the soldering process again, again on the big blob on the big pads, and we use a wire on this middle pad so that we make sure that it's not gonna break if it vibrates or anything else. And on the big pads we can only use a blob, it's gonna hold no problem, but on the smaller ones we have to use wires to be more secure. Here we actually found a little bit of a thinner wire, and we use this one instead of the bigger one that we used on the other side. Now here we apply solder mask on the connections. It's a UV curable mask. When exposed to UV it hardens so that it covers the traces so that they don't make a short with the case of the phone. Now over here we test the phone and we let it charge for a few seconds and then we pull off the charger, and if the phone stays for a few seconds on the logo then the battery is fine. If you like the video and it helped you in any way, please share, like and subscribe for the next video. See you on the next one.